Hello to all the Autosport fans and everyone who voted for me. First of all, I just want to say a big thank you for all the support and all the votes, of course. I'll keep doing my bit. I'll keep having fun and enjoying my life in Formula One and hopefully entertaining you. I mean, I'm very happy. It's something that the fans can vote on, and it's not all about the performance of what you do on track. I'm very happy. It's for my second year in a row. I don't know how many times that's been done before, but maybe this is my aim, to keep this going forever. I mean, it's different because I respect George massively, and obviously what he's done and what he showed, in Mercedes. It doesn't mean, that I'm a much better driver than them or anything like that. I guess it's just a different aspect of it, what the fans want to see and what the fans think. But it doesn't change the way of, us wanting to compete on track or what we think of each other, because I think we both respect each other a lot when we're racing, and that's what we still want to try and do. But I guess this is a little bonus and a nice thing just to have over another driver, I guess. I mean, I've got to go with the first race of the year. I think that's inevitable, really. My first podium in Formula One, something you dream of for many years when you're a kid, or since I was a kid, or 7, 8 years old. It's hard to, ever believe when it's going to happen and when you think it's going to happen. And for us coming into this year and only having one podium last year, which was Carlos, we weren't expecting anything like it. So coming in and being able to score that, and it being more of a surprise than anything, then it made it that little bit more sweeter. And I mean, it's just my first podium in Formula One, and I think that's an incredible achievement for anyone, no matter what team you're in, no matter what the circumstances are. Being one of very few people, ever in Formula One to score podiums and stuff is incredible, and it's something I've dreamed of for a long time and worked on and finally managed to do. So I would say that was my biggest achievement and something I'll remember forever. There's also been a lot of things along the way this season which I can be proud of and very happy with what I've achieved. Of course, I would say none come close to being a podium. I guess in some ways it showed like not to give up or in any way. And even when, there can be times in a race when you're completely on your own and you can be 10 seconds behind someone, 10 seconds ahead of someone, and you just feel like there's nothing you can do to achieve much more. But I guess in the beginning of the season, there were some more circumstances where people had problems and technical issues or penalties, just continuing to push every lap when there was nothing to achieve maybe within that exact lap or that number of laps. And that's where it all paid off. And I think that happened in the first race with the penalty, and obviously improved and solidified the mentality of having to just continue to push. And then we went into Austria too, and we had the same thing again with Perez and overtaking him into the final corner on the last lap. So it's that kind of mentality which was very observed in the first two races of the season. It's not always amazing, but I guess it just gives you that feeling that you just need to continue pushing until the very end. I mean, I don't honestly think the challenges have been off the track. It's not, with COVID and everything, it's a bit more of ordinary life gets taken away from you, and that's something you also enjoy. As much as I love racing, I love when I get to go home and just be normal again for those few days. So I guess that was difficult. The hard bit is still always on the track, and no matter if you have some good races, there are always still some tough races. I think I can confidently say there's not been as many things that I can just blame myself on like I did last year. I think then there was more mistakes from my side, and I put a lot of it down to me. But this year, my mentality's changed a bit, and I'm doing a better job. But there's also been some tough times where we've lost a lot of points through technical problems and things like that. And there's nothing I can do about them, or sometimes we can do as a team. That's Formula One, and that's how racing is sometimes. I mean, it's tricky. I think a lot of it needs reviewing. And I think a lot of the areas I made improvements was after reviewing last season over the winter and putting in a good plan of what things to focus on in the preseason test and what I dedicate my time to in terms of trying to improve. So that's what we did, and I felt like my weaknesses last year were massively improved coming into this year, and the racing and my consistency and so on. So I'm very happy with that. I'm a lot more competitive on Sundays and in the races, and I'm there when it counts, and that was proved straight away within the first 2 weekends that we did of the year. So I'm sure every driver will say it, but there's always things you want to improve on, and I can confidently say there's less than there was last year, which is a good thing. But there's still small, a lot of small things in terms of the qualifying laps and being able to nail the qualifying laps every single weekend, and maybe trying to avoid the 2 crashes that I had this season. the one in Portimao, and the spin or crash that I had in Mugello. So I think on the whole, it's been a very good season, and I can be proud of what we've achieved as a team. But yeah, of course, I want to go into the winter, review everything, and try and come back even stronger. I mean, there's many things. Carlos is my first teammate within Formula One, so it's the guy I've learned a lot from. He still was in his 4th year of Formula One, so he was massively experienced comparing to what I was. We've had just some fun, great times, both at the track and away from the track. And I think that's led to us being just very good mates and very good friends, even when we're away from racing and we're playing golf or things like that. So I guess he's a guy I never knew before coming into McLaren. Obviously, I knew of him, but it's kind of getting to know someone new and becoming really good friends. I guess we just miss being able to have maybe as many laughs as what we've had. I guess on the flip side, there's having a new teammate, and he's the funny guy in Formula One, and I'm sure there's going to be some good laughs. But at the same time, I'm there to race in Formula One and not just to laugh, and therefore there's many things for me to learn from him, because he's won races, he's scored many podiums, been against many different teammates and world champions and so on. So although he's probably, I think just as good as what Carlos is, and Carlos is just as good as what Daniel is, there's a whole different range of experience that Daniel's got that Carlos doesn't. So it's for me to learn from those things, try and improve myself and become a better driver from knowing these things about Daniel, trying to improve the team and try and eventually get to podiums and winning races in a few years. Christmas, I'm going home to see my parents or my family. I think it's going to be the first time all year since almost last Christmas that we're all going to be seeing each other again, which is nice. Just spend some time, I guess, away from racing altogether and away from McLaren and the simulators and things like that. So just going back to living a bit more of a normal life. So I look forward to it. And as much as I love racing, it's also nice to get away and not think about racing for a while. I wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll see you next year when the season begins.